Welcome back to the Mr. Duo podcast. I'm Anna.
And I'm Jake, and today's conversation feels simple at first, but it goes deep very quickly.
Yes, it really does. Today, we're talking about something almost everyone thinks about, but not everyone talks about honestly. Money, success, and intelligence.
And more importantly, the question behind all of that, does money really prove success and intelligence, or are we just used to thinking that way?
That's such an important question, because if we're honest, most people say money isn't everything, but they don't always feel that way inside.
Exactly. You can believe one thing in your mind and still feel something completely different in your heart.
So, Jake, let me ask you directly. Do you think money proves success?
I think money can show a kind of success, but not the whole story. It can show results, effort, maybe even discipline, but it doesn't automatically show happiness, peace, or meaning.
I agree, because someone can have a high income and still feel completely lost inside.
Yes, and on the other hand, someone can earn less money but feel deeply fulfilled, connected, and proud of their life.
That's true. But then, why do you think society puts so much importance on money?
I think it's because money is easy to measure. It's visible. You can compare it. People like simple ways to judge success, and money gives them that shortcut.
So it becomes like a scoreboard for life.
Exactly. And once something becomes a scoreboard, people start competing, even if they didn't choose the game.
That's such a powerful idea. Sometimes people are running fast, but they don't even know why they're running.
Yes, they're chasing a number, a title, or an image without asking if it truly matters to them.
And that can be exhausting because then success becomes something external, something you have to prove to others.
Right. Instead of asking, am I happy, people start asking, do I look successful?
That difference is everything because looking successful and feeling successful are not the same thing at all.
Not even close. And I think social media has made this even stronger.
Yes, definitely. Now people don't just live their lives, they present their lives.
Exactly. And what we see online is usually the highlight, not the full story.
So when someone sees others traveling, buying expensive things, or achieving big goals, they might start feeling behind.
Even if their own life is actually meaningful and stable.
That's the problem. Comparison changes how we see ourselves.
Yes, and over time, that can damage your confidence and self-worth.
Let's talk about that for a moment. Why do people connect their self-worth to money?
I think it happens slowly. First, money helps you survive. Then it helps you feel safe. Then suddenly, it starts to feel like proof that you're doing well in life.
So it shifts from being a tool to being a symbol.
Exactly. And once it becomes a symbol, it carries emotional meaning.
Like respect, status, and even identity.
Yes, and that's where it becomes dangerous, because then people start thinking, if I earn less, maybe I'm worth less.
And that thought can hurt deeply.
It really can, especially for people who are working very hard but don't see big financial results.
Like teachers, caregivers, or people supporting families quietly.
Yes, their work is meaningful and important, but it's not always rewarded with high income or public recognition.
And that can make them feel undervalued.
Exactly. Even though their contribution to society is huge.
So clearly, money doesn't measure everything. But what about intelligence? Do you think money proves someone is intelligent?
Not necessarily. It can show that someone is skilled in a certain area, like business or finance, but intelligence is much broader than that.
Yes, there are so many types of intelligence.
Emotional intelligence, social intelligence, creative intelligence.
And even practical intelligence, like knowing how to handle difficult situations in life.
Exactly. And those types of intelligence don't always lead to money.
But they still matter a lot.
Absolutely. Sometimes the wisest people are not the richest people.
I've noticed that too. Some people don't have impressive titles or incomes, but they understand life in a very deep way.
Yes, they're calm, thoughtful, and grounded.
And talking to them feels different. It feels real.
Exactly. That kind of intelligence doesn't always show on paper, but you can feel it.
So, why do you think people often assume that wealthy people are more intelligent?
I think it's because success in one area creates a kind of image. People see wealth and assume it means ability in all areas.
Even when that's not true.
Yes, someone can be very successful in business, but not very wise in relationships or personal decisions.
That's such an important point. Success is not one-dimensional.
Exactly. Life is complex, and people are complex too.
So maybe the real problem is not money itself, but the meaning we give it.
I think that's exactly it. Money is a tool, but we've turned it into a measure of human value.
And that's a heavy responsibility for something that was never meant to carry it.
Yes, because when money becomes the main measure, people start ignoring other important qualities.
Like kindness, honesty, resilience, and effort.
And those qualities are often what truly define a person.
So how can people change their thinking about this?
I think the first step is awareness, just noticing how often we compare ourselves based on money.
And questioning it, asking, is this really a fair way to measure my life?
Exactly. And also remembering that everyone's journey is different.
Yes, different timing, different opportunities, different challenges.
And success can look different for each person.
For some, success is financial freedom.
For others, it's peace of mind or strong relationships.
Or simply living a life that feels honest and meaningful.
Exactly. And none of those are less valuable.
I really like that idea, that success is personal, not universal.
Yes. And once people understand that, they can stop chasing someone else's definition,
And start creating their own.
which is much more fulfilling in the long run.
So maybe the final answer is this. Money matters, but it doesn't define everything.
Yes, it can tell part of the story, but never the whole story.
And intelligence is much deeper than financial success.
Exactly. A person's value cannot be reduced to numbers.
That's a powerful reminder.
It really is.
So before we end, let's ask our listeners something.
Yes. What do you think?
Do you believe money proves success and intelligence?
Or do you think the world has given money too much power?
You can share your thoughts in a simple way or tell us your experience.
We always love hearing your perspective.
And if this conversation made you think a little deeper,
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who might need it.
take care of your English.
And take care of your mindset.
See you next time.
Bye, everyone.